In this video, I want to show you how to plot two sets of data on one graph, which is super handy when you want to plot your experimental values compared to your theoretical values, or maybe you were investigating two different variations, like in biology, maybe you had two different types of plants that you want to compare. So, similar to before, we want to highlight our independent variable. I'm going to hold down Command and then highlight the first set of data I want to plot, which in my case is my experimental average. But then I've also got over here some theoretical values, and note these are made up numbers. I think ethanol's correct, but I can't be bothered looking up. So made up numbers, but you can have theoretical values. So again, hold down Command, and I want to plot those as well, all on the same graph. So now I'm just going to insert a scatter plot, first option, and you'll see it has both sets of data on the same axes. Now we want to do a few things to this graph to make it pretty and communicate more clearly. So chart design, quick layout. Let's bring up particularly a key or a legend in this case. Now to change what this says, so blue in our case is our experimental average. The orange was our theoretical values. So to change that, what you can do is click on your graph, chart design, select data, and that brings up this box here, and you can see these are the two different series that we have plotted. So series 1, I'm going to call that, the name was our experimental average, and that second series was the theoretical value. Go OK, and that just labels them nicely for you. You can also change, it's good practice, at least in Excel here it's coloured so you can tell the difference, but it is also good practice to use a different symbol. So you can click on the, for example, orange circles and go Format Data Series. Over here we then want to, I think it's this first option, then click on Marker. Marker Options, it's buried down a billion things, built-in type, there we go. And then you might want to change it to a triangle, for example. So yeah, it's buried in the menu option. But that just gives us two different symbols to look at, which is handy. We can then go and add trend lines for each of those. For example, there's our linear one there, our linear trend line for our experimental values. And yeah, it's just good practice whenever you have a theoretical value to compare to actually graph your experimental against your theoretical, so that you can make a graphical representation of the difference. And I've actually just looked at our graph and have gone, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Our independent variable is 2, 5, and 8, not up to 1,500. So I can see that it's not plotting things the way that I want to plot it. So again, whenever that happens, chart design, switch row and column usually fixes it, and yes, it has fixed it. So we can see that, we've got our independent along the x-axis. This should now be accurately plotting our heat of combustion and theoretical along our y. I'll need to go back and change the names, so select data, fix it up again. But yes, switch row column is a lifesaver, so always try that first if it's plotting strangely. But there you go, that is how to plot multiple sets of data on the same axes and change your little symbols.